Hey y'all, hopefully you guys have been through the market hog video and now we're going to start into the market steers video or market beef. Again, we're going to use the same platform of the pictures. We're going to do a group of Hereford steers. Here's your class. I know that my market hog video was a little bit longer, but I'm going to try and keep this one a little bit shorter because I looked at some statistics and a lot of you aren't watching the full video, so I'm just going to try and keep it short and sweet. Okay, as you learned in the PowerPoint, some of the things to look for in steers is going to be overall muscling. The more muscle, the more meat you have, which means the more money you can sell them for. Another really important thing with beef is a fat covering, or finish is what they call it. Like we talked about in the market hogs video, you want them to have that finish or fat so that the meat that they give is has flavor in it and it tastes good. When you have that steak, you want it to have some nice marbling so that you can get a really good flavor. You don't want it too lean. So some of the things that I look for when I'm judging market steers is you want them to be level on the top. You want them to be square in the rear. You kind of want them to be square in the body as well. A good indication if they have finish is this down here is called the brisket. If you look and see how much extra skin or flab right there they have, you want them to have a little bit but not too much. If they have too much, then you know they're over finished. Another good indication of how muscly and finished they are is through the neck. If there's quite a bit of meat there, then you know that they're finished out through the rest of their body. So here's our profile view. These are all, again, these are market steers. The breed is Hereford. Here's a rear view of our Hereford steers. Again, look for a wide base, square rump. The more mass there is, obviously the more muscle that they have, the more meat they're going to give off. This is a good view to help you indicate that. In the steers, they have one more view than the hogs, and we're going to view the top of them. Again, if you need to pause this video, you are more than welcome to, so you can look at those steers a little bit better or a little bit longer. Here are your top two. From the top line, again, you want them to be square. In through here is where you're going to have your steaks. The loin is right here, and you're going to want to make sure that they have a nice thick loin because that's where all of your like sirloin steaks come from, etc. Back through here is going to be your roast area. Same thing with the shoulders. Here's your bottom, number 3 and number 4 over the top. Again, you want a nice covering. You can look over the rib cage and see how much covering they have over the rib cage. Is also a good indication of not only how much muscling they have, but also how much fat they have. Again, you want that fat covering, just a light layer of fat covering so that they have enough flavor through their meat. It's a lot easier when you're judging them in person because you can take your hand and you can actually feel over the rib cage. You should be able to feel their ribs just a little bit. You should be able to feel a squish to them. That's that fat covering over the rib cage. Here's the front view of this class of steers. Again, you're looking for square. You're going to look for broad shoulders because that's where all your roasts come from, your shoulder roasts. Again, you're going to look in this brisket area to see how much fat covering they have and also how much muscling they have. Front view is a pretty good indication for this class of market steers. Here's the profile view one more time. Remember, you're looking for that square shape, level over the top, and enough fat covering. Here's the rear one more time. The top view one more time. This is your top pair 1 and 2. And the bottom 3 and 4. And here's your front view of these market steers. All right, now go ahead and write down your placings and maybe a few reasons why you placed them the way you did. And I'm going to go ahead and actually give you the official placings on this particular class. So they placed this class of market steers 3, 4, 2, 1. I definitely agree with 3 being our top steer. He sets himself apart. You look at the profile, he's very deep through the belly, which means he's got lots of muscling through him. He just has more mass than the rest of the steers in this class. Number 3 and number 4 were similar. Number 3 beats out number 4 for me in a couple of ways. One is the level top that number 3 has versus number 4. He's got kind of a sway back, which means he can't carry quite as much mass as this steer can. Just physiological. The way his bone structure is. If you look down through here, that's very square at the tail head. You've got some nice meat covering and muscling right through there and through the shoulder. If you look through on their necks, this particular steer is a little bit beefier through the neck, but again, because of his dip in his back, he's just not going to be able to carry quite as much meat. And if you got him to take his belly up just a little bit more, you'll see that number 3 is actually deeper than number 4. So this is definitely our top pair comparatively to our bottom pair. In our bottom pair, they put 2 over 1. In this pair, I had a hard time deciding between the two. And the reason why is because they're very similar. This calf also almost looks a little bit bigger than this calf. But if you look at the lady that's standing next to them, this calf's actually smaller than number 2. So, number 2 beats number 1 for me. If you look at the neck right there, in steers, you want them to be nice and full and thick. And you can see all those skin wrinkles. That just means that there's a lack of muscling through this steer's body. Same thing with this steer has it just a little bit, but comparatively with these two, this one has a little bit squarer rump. I think number 1 over number 2 has a little bit more length. However, number 2 just has a little bit more muscling. You look at our rear view of these steers. Remember 3 was first, 3 over 4, and then 2 over 1. You can see how 1 drops off in this particular placing. In the rear view, he just does not have the same coverage, muscle coverage, as the rest of the steers in this particular class. Again, placings 3, 4, 2, 1. Don't forget to post on our discussion board what how you place this particular class. Remember, it does not necessarily matter if you get the placing correct, but what I really want to look for is you guys justifying why you placed them the way you did. Your reasons mean more than your placing itself. Hopefully, you guys are still hanging in there and doing all right with online class. Hopefully, we can come back in May and do some of the fun hands-on things we have planned. If not, we're going to keep trying to plug away at online school. If you have any questions, feel free to holler at me and I'll try and answer them for you. Until next time.